Hello again and welcome back to Some Climbing News. Got a lot to talk about today. Mostly speculative, but what the hell am I wasting your time for? Roll the intro. And starting us off today, like I said, mostly speculative. There's really only been like 2 photos of this thing put up on the gram as stories, but it seems Noah Wheeler and Hamish McArthur are in Finland right now. They're both checking out Burden of Dreams, have potentially gotten on it already. And I mean, again, I have zero information on what's going on, haven't reached out to either of them because I'm assuming they want to keep things on the down low, but this is exciting. This is very exciting. Hamish went on the Struggle Climbing podcast a couple of weeks ago. He mentioned he was actively looking at giving Burden of Dreams a flash go, which I think the fastest descent of Burden at the moment is like, I don't even know, a ton of sessions. Will Bosey took like 14 of them. Doesn't honestly matter. What does matter is if he did it first go, would it be a flash? Because the thing is, most of us can probably agree that doing the exact replica with the 3D printed holds and having those holds placed in the exact same position as on the real boulder, that negates a flash for sure. But Hamish, he hasn't done that. He's never pulled on the 3D replica. He's never even touched the 3D printed holes. What he has done is he's grabbed some crimps from a gym and built a replica himself, more or less mimicking the holds and their positions to the best of his ability from beta videos and stuff like that, as far at least as I understand it. So on a scale of replicas from like the kilter board version of, Burden at Home, which is like almost completely different to the replica that like Tomoe Narasaki was climbing on, Hamish's replica is kind of somewhere in the middle, And personally, I don't really think that's enough to negate a flash, because at that point, it's just too different. Honestly, I personally believe that if that negates a flash, then there's just no such thing as a flash at all. Because look at the first move of Burden, right? It's pulling from 2 crimps in opposition and throwing like a big red point move to a higher crimp in opposition again. I mean, like that's like board climbing 101. Everyone climbing harder than like V6-7A has done a move like that at some point. So if just doing a move that's similar negates a flash, then like what are we even talking about? But yeah, those are my thoughts. If we're talking about what negates a flash, like I said, building yourself a little replica with holds from your own gym and info you've only gotten from beta videos, I don't think that's enough. I think a flash is only negated when a replica approximates a boulder so much that you're pretty much just doing the same thing. Where that line is exactly is nebulous as hell, and I think it's just one of those situations where we're just gonna have to be honest with ourselves. Kind of like hardcore porn, according to US Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart, who once said so wisely, I know it when I see it. So yeah, I mean, like if you get on that one fully reconstructed version of the Rhino, it's called the Gym Rhino, and then you can go to the real thing in Rocklands and you find that, they're actually completely different, then maybe it's up to you to claim a flash. But if you find they're exactly the same and you've just totally ruined one of the greatest climbs in the world for yourself for like no reason, then no. Not only can you not claim a flash, but also like, why would you do that to yourself? I genuinely don't understand the point of making this thing. Like I'm on a huge fucking tangent at this point, but someone please explain this to me. Like the only reason to get on this thing is if you know for a fact that you will never ever get to go to Rocklands and try the real thing, which is just like, that just seems like such a defeatist attitude. Like never say never. I know that's like a stupid little like bullshit saying, but honestly, yeah, never say never. You never know. I don't know. Someone in the comments help me out here and tell me what possible value this brings to people, because I don't understand it at all. But anyways, that's not the only bit of news out of Finland. Looks like those same 2 guys, those insanely strong fellas that keep showing the world that they're basically 2 of the strongest climbers to ever live, yeah, those 2 are seemingly also checking out the Sisu project, which is equally as big of a goddamn deal. Actually, I venture to say it's an even bigger freaking deal than Burden. Look, if you don't know what the hell the Sisu project could possibly be, well, that's why you watch this show. I'm about to tell you. Let me explain. It's all gonna be okay. So back in 2010, Nalle Hukkataival, the dude that got the first ascent of Burden of Dreams, the dude that, proposed V17 at a time when there were only like, I don't know, like 6 V16s in the world. It was very much a big deal. Shook the climbing world completely. That's why Burden is such an insanely legendary boulder. But anyways, Nalle in 2010 had a blog, and in that blog he posted about this thing. That thing. Yeah, look at it. It's like a weight, like it's like an inside out Pringle, if that makes any sense. It's also freaking huge. There's Nale for scale. I mean, look at how incredibly cool that boulder is. I can't even fucking okay. I gotta calm down. Okay, look, back in 2010, he'd given the boulder 4 sessions at a time when he was super strong. He'd done Jade when it was thought to be 8C V15 in 2 days. He'd done the Big Island in 4, but on the Sisu project, he'd only managed to do a single move in that entire time. Actually, the only move he'd been able to do was also coincidentally the easiest one. Now there's a video from 2015 when Nale works the end of the project. It's sick, so I'm honestly gonna play it right now. Look. Yeah, how awesome is that? But that's it, basically. That's all the info we have. We haven't seen very many super strong people try it, at least not many who have devoted time to it. Now they kind of quit the world of professional climbing because, you know, well, he kind of just seemingly wanted to climb for climbing's sake, which is commendable, but also, damn it, like, we miss you, Nale. Come back. And again, now Hamish and Noah are maybe trying it. Like, we don't actually know if they are. All we have is a photo of the boulder and the knowledge that they're there. I mean, it's looking like the weather has been super finicky these past few weeks in Finland. So, I mean, you know, it's a miracle if they've even been able to climb. But honestly, the Sisu project is very likely a step above Burden of Dreams. It's very highly speculated to be 9A plus or V18, which, I mean, unless something changes and some crazy beta is found, yeah, I cannot see anything in the world that would be more sick than this getting done. Like, the fact that it is as beautiful as it is, as like weird and special as it is. I mean, it's like a freaking, like, yeah, it's Pringle shaped. I don't know how else to describe it, man. Like, it's weirdly overhung at the bottom, and they're like concaves or convexes. I forget which one is which. It's tall as hell, which means you best be super strong on the bottom moves. You'll be coming right off the top. I don't know. It's the coolest boulder I think I've ever seen in a very, very, very long time. And whether Noah and Hamish can do it now or at some point in the future, or whether it's some other crushers who need that to basically, I don't know, like move to Finland, it doesn't matter. Either way, I hope it gets done soon, because I keep repeating myself, but like, goddamn, it's amazing. And then let's keep the burden talks going, man. We're doing a ton of Finland today. I don't know why. Just kind of happened. It's kind of nice. And this is actually disappointing news. It's both Ritsu, Kayotani, and Makoto Yamauchi, who have been famously live streaming their sessions on Burden of Dreams, have gone home empty-handed. And okay, so this is kind of surprising given how insanely prepared the two were when they showed up to Lapnor. They both sent their replicas. They both looked super dialed. And I mean, both of them were looking almost overpowered on the moves. And yet, rock is a fickle mistress, isn't it? Seems the two had to deal with a ton of skin issues, rainy weather, bad conditions, and just general kind of, you know, outdoor roughness, you could call it, which is pretty normal thing to go through. I mean, how many of us haven't had an experience just like this, right? You head to the proj, psych is high, you're feeling stronger than you ever had. You get there, the rock feels bad, the skin hurts, maybe it's humid and you're sliding everywhere, you get in your head, and then it's all just bad news bears trying to run down a hill, which they famously can't do because, you know, yeah, those stubby legs. Anyways, both of them seemingly knew that this would be very likely the outcome of their first trip, and both have said that while they're going home disappointed about the fact that they weren't able to send, they also feel more motivated than ever to come back even stronger. So, kind of have a little bit of good news mixed with the bad, which is never a bad thing in general. Either way, been kind of cool to see live streams of one of the hardest boulders in the world, but also kind of like not cool too. Like, I don't know, I generally don't know how to feel about the whole live streaming thing. Like, on the one hand, yeah, it's cool to see, you know, the hardest boulder and how, you know, the pros go about their climbing and tactics and all that. But on the other, it would just suck to have that become a widespread thing everywhere. So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Passing it on to you guys to ask yourselves and debate about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next, let's talk Ceria getting the FA of La Busta Paga in Valle d'Aosta in Italy. And, okay, so here's the thing with Nicky. The dude does not publish grades. He pretty much exclusively climbs stuff for its aesthetic and movement value. And I mean, while that can be frustrating for a lot of people, it's also kind of a breath of fresh air. And a much needed one at that, in my opinion. Because with a show like this one, high grades and high numbers attract clicks, and those clicks are cool, but ultimately it feels like the most, like most of the conversation revolves around the number as opposed to the actual rock. And honestly, as much as I just can't not be a part of the grade for obvious reasons, I also do think it's important to at least switch the focus up as much as I can away from numbers and more towards the rocks themselves. So, with that said, why the fuck is Nicky not grading this thing? It looks hard. Why do you, what do you guys think? Like, is it V15, V14? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Look at this boulder. It's sick. It's overhung. This freaking hold is like a perfect little granite pocket thing. Do you guys realize how rare it is to find something like that? It's amazing. Photos look like this thing's got such a sick little crossing sequence. It just looks fun to climb. And knowing Nicky, it'll probably be featured in one of his videos soon, which I'm gonna just link to his YouTube account just down below because it's rad as hell. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Like it's just pretty freaking cool boulder. Go check out the photos. Go check out Nicky Ceria's YouTube account. He puts up a lot of really good stuff. Okay, and then it's Arco time. Not because of the Rockmaster, but because Yannick Flohe and Giovanni Placci have both been working Excalibur and are both looking very good on it. It's been looking like Yannick was at Arco with Alex Megos a few weeks ago. That's why Megos sent that one Stefano Ghisolfi climb, which his name I completely forgot, my bad. And it also seems that Yannick has just one move to go in order to link together the full crux sequence of Excalibur. As far as Giovanni Placci, it looks like the dude is also getting pretty close, but how close is kind of a mystery. Dude put out a video where he said he's making good progress and he's looking pretty solid, so perhaps close is close and not that far. I realize that made extremely little sense. I have nothing to go on for this story, man. Like, what can I do? they just updated with little stupid videos. I don't know. But yeah, with these two sends, if they actually do happen, Excalibur would actually become the second most repeated 9B plus route in the world, right after change in Flat Hanger, which is kind of a cool idea. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we get some sense of it soon. This is like the most non-story story of all time. Ridiculous. And then just gonna do a quick couple of sends that went down during the week. We got Nicolai Uznik making quick work of the AP Plus boulder Purring Puma. And by quick work, I mean that very literally. Dude managed to send the whole thing in 4 goes, which is just nuts given it's basically a one-move wonder. Or at least seems like it is from the video that he posted. It's great stuff from Nicolai out of Zillgrün, Autriche. Is that how, I hope that's how you say Austrian. If it isn't, I'm fucked. Anyways, there we gotta head over to Fontainebleau where Mejdi Schalck was able to send La Force du Destin, an AB plus super classic of the forest. In my opinion, an incredible boulder. Something about just, font in general that's so freaking rad. Like, it's so insanely cool how completely unique the climbing is over there, while at the same time it's like the most developed and dense bouldering area on the planet. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Everybody should make a climbing pilgrimage to Fontainebleau before, they can't. Anyways, moving on. All right, we got some more sends to report. Chris Cosser managed to put together the 9A plus 515A route Ace of Spades, one of those American sport climbing test pieces put up by the legend himself, James Litz, who, go look that guy up if you're not familiar, but he's a very well-known and notorious Southern sandbagger. I mean, Ace of Spades was originally 9A before Daniel Woods and Jonathan Seagrass came in and were like, bruh. But now Chris has put his name onto the list after a 4-year-long siege. Can I really call it a siege? I mean, he tried it on and off, and it apparently lived rent-free in his head for a real long time. So I guess siege is kind of pushing it a little bit. But hey, whatever, semantics, who cares? Dude sent an incredible line. He's been looking strong as all hell lately and deserves a big congratulations. And speaking of people who are apparently on fire, Jorge Diaz Rullo in the news again for sending 3 big things in 3 days. Should there be a name for that? I don't know, whatever. 3 things. Mr. Potato, an AP plus V14 boulder problem. Real Tierra de Nadie, a 9A plus route Tierra Negra, a 9A/plus route on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, respectively. Not a half-bad weekend tick list, I'd say. And just because I gotta keep the speculation going, since that's kind of like the theme of today's episode, gotta end this quick little section with the question. If Jorge is in far better shape now than he was when he very nearly sent Café Colombia, video of his high point, what's gonna happen when he gets on it soon? That one's gonna be huge if it gets sent. Hopefully it does, because yeah, man, it's a great project. But hey, that was some climbing news. Of course, thank you for watching. As always, glad to be of service to all of you. Gonna be doing the YouTube thing because I gotta, which is just to ask you all to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment with opinions and all that, because well, the whole point of the show is to provide a place where we can talk. And more importantly, go enjoy the weekend. I will see you guys on Tuesday. But in the meantime, and as always, go climb some stuff.